going. How did you bring this up, and what was your vision with just the whole Legacy 34 with Prairie District?
So my name's Rief. So really the roots of how this came all about is I drove by this piece of land and Chief was doing their development over by the hospital. And I'm like, man, we need to somehow recruit professionals to this community. But the bad thing is there was no place for professionals to live. So we were in need as a community for professionals, but the living facilities weren't available for them. So then you recruit this professional to come to this community and they're like, well, you have to live in this. And then eventually once you establish yourself, hopefully you're gonna be able to find a home or something that fits more your lifestyle. And that was really the biggest need that I was finding that we're struggling in Grand Island, was finding something to recruit these professionals to our community. But also even those professionals that are already living here, they may not be living in the type of living facilities that met their standard. So I always call this a step up product, where I want people to step up into something greater for themselves so that they know anything's possible. And really this was an anything possible development for me, where at first I was like, okay, we wanted to get people to live out here. So how do we get people to live out here? We build apartments, but we want to build nice apartments. So when we were looking at our demographics, we're like, we want to target this demographic of people and start getting these people living here. It's kind of what we did with phase one. Phase one was 92 units, and it was on the west side of the property. And then we skipped this big green space, and then we started building apartments on the west side. But the master plan was, how do we create a neighborhood that people feel very comfortable in and is very walkable? And they feel like each little space feels special, but very comforting at the same time, if that makes sense. So we built the first phase. Now we've just finished building the second phase. And now people are starting to really talk about it, because now we're starting to build our commercial area. And that commercial area is going to include Baristas and Big Retreats and Balz. Grand Island Dental Center's coming. Summit Real Estate Company is going to be there as well. And I got some other people that hopefully will be coming out as well. The other really cool thing about it is we incorporated the city trail. Whenever you live somewhere, you want not only to feel comfortable in the space that you live, so when you get to see our apartments, you're going to see window placement is very important. When we designed these apartment units, it wasn't just, hey, let's make sure there's a 12 by 12 bedroom, a 12 by 14 living room, a kitchen here and that. No, we're like, what do you look at when you're in this apartment? How do you feel when you're in this room? When we designed our apartment units, it was all about a feeling. And so when we get to show you our apartment units today, hopefully you start to notice the attention to detail that you see inside our units, but even on the outside. Because if you start looking at our trim package, it wasn't we just slapped vinyl siding on our apartments and called it good. We picked different colors. We didn't design something that looked like it was from 2024. We wanted a product that was timeless. So if you look at our colors, they're browns, they're grays, they're black, they're white, there's cream, all these different colors to make sure it's timeless. And for the next 20 to 100 years, this development is going to be significant. I can talk a lot, so if you're you're like,
I will take all of it. I will take all of it.
Okay, well, really, if you go anywhere like a bigger metro area, you're gonna see clubhouses like this. And that's a problem in Grand Island right now. There wasn't clubhouses like this. There was maybe, hey, we got a clubhouse room, but nothing with vaulted ceilings, a nice place for you to hang out. And it's very important to have a nice clubhouse within apartments because it gives a place to get away from their living area. It's like an extended living room. So if you're, hey, I want to meet one of my buddies and I don't want to meet them in my apartment, you can have them, hey, let's meet at the clubhouse. And over here we'll play Xbox or we'll play PS5s or let's go play pool or let's go swimming in the swimming pool. So there's lots of other things that you can do as well. Another big thing that we wanted to do when we designed these apartments was we wanted a place for people to exercise, because that's very important in today with mental health, that you have a place with lots of windows, because you want to feel like you're not living in an apartment, but in a home. And that's what you're going to notice in our apartments. This feels like a home. This doesn't feel like an apartment. But also you want a place that you can exercise. So let's go check out the exercise room. Here again, this is very well done, lots of lights. And what I mean by light is natural light. If you looked at a typical apartment, you would see just one level of lights, but you can see that we did 2 levels. And so these are transient windows. Just that added bonus really opens up this space. It's all new equipment, so it's all very nice equipment. So we're really excited for, if you choose to live here, utilize our facilities. It is nice because you can almost do, I'm a person, I like to work out too. You're gonna hit your back. So we got lats, we got reverse pulls. And then with a cable machine, you can pretty much do anything with your free weights. Literally the only thing that you really can't do is like squats, but you can do dumbbell squats. But some people are like, I want a squat bar. And the tough thing is it's tough to have a squat bar in an apartment complex for the liability aspect of it. Like once you start getting into a lot of dumb, like free weight stuff like that, it makes it tough. So yeah, we need to add kettlebells because we've had a couple people say that to add some kettlebells. So we're probably, I bet, within the next month have kettlebells in there. So yeah. So this is called our Cornhusker room. You can rent this out if you're a tenant. Cool thing is there's somebody renting it right now that's utilizing it, meeting with people. So it's a great facilities. If you want to throw a private party, you can have this room. Another thing, when we designed this clubhouse, we actually designed what we call Zoom rooms, or they're just private rooms. Let's say you're working from home, you're in your apartment, you're like, I need a different place to go. And so that's what this room is designed for, is just a private room of like, I got to get out of my apartment. I need to do something else. I need to work somewhere else. You can come in here, utilize this area. Yes, they are.
Best,
yeah, sitting, standing desk. Yeah. All right. Well, obviously you can have the most beautiful apartments, but if you don't have someone to introduce you to the place and show you all the amenities and show you all the greatness of Legacy 34, you always need property managers. Ashley's one of our property managers back here. She's always here to serve your needs. Sometimes there's a third one, and then we have Heather back here as well. She will show you around the property and make sure that you see everything you need and that we meet your needs here. So we are going to go into some units. Which ones do you want us to go into?
That's our most popular floor plan.
Yeah, it's an awesome unit.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay. All right. Well, crazy enough, we're really only one going to see because we're almost full, so which is great. But we have lots of units available. So it's not, because we have quite a few units available. The problem is like that phase over there is pretty much full. And then these over here it's that last street that we just opened up. That's the one that, so we have plenty of units.
Yeah. Units that you have, and it seems like there's a lot of unique ones, like a lot of...
Yes. Well, look this way. So this building over here, that's Barista. So you see there'll be a drive-through and there'll be outdoor sitting on the other side. So hopefully we'll be able to walk over there, kind of see how we're going to make our plaza and our green space. And then just in front of that building that's getting built, there's actually going to be another building where Big Red Treats is. But in that building, that's where Balz is going to be, and Grand Island Dental Center, and then also Summit Real Estate. As you can see, it's not a typical strip mall. It's very architecturally sound. It's going to fit in to this neighborhood. What's most unique about Prairie District is one developer. So it's one vision, it's one architect, it's one dream, and it's all coming together. So it's kind of like the Disney of neighborhoods, if you think about it that way. We're sitting here talking right now, walking down a typical sidewalk, but this sidewalk is 10 feet wide. So you don't go into an apartment complex and see a 10-foot wide apartment sidewalk. And why? Because this is a city trail. So the city trail will actually go through this neighborhood, go in front of the commercial building, and then we're eventually going to do residential houses, and it will connect to Cedar Hills Park. So,
okay, wow, that's nuts.
So,
I didn't realize the city trail went through here.
Yep, right here is the city trail.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. And so then right over here where we have this piece of land, and it looks like there's even surveyors, this is where that Hampton Inn is going to be. So we should be breaking ground on this Hampton Inn in about October of this year. So within the next month, hopefully we'll be breaking ground on that. That's really important just to recruit other restaurants and other things to the community. Think about it, you got the Spring Hill Suites that's over there you can see in the distance, and then you put another Hampton Inn here. You got 2 restaurants. It's gonna help really recruit other businesses to this area. We'll walk down this area. So this is just a connector sidewalk. And the reason why I want to show you this, we're kind of get into seeing some other amenities that we have. Whenever I went to visit my grandma down in Arizona, she always had an outdoor shuffleboard table or an outdoor shuffleboard. So I was like, man, that would be great to have something like that in Grand Island. So we're gonna see our outdoor shuffleboard area. And you can kind of see it in the distance here. We don't quite have all, we have something, holders to hold up the poles and stuff we haven't put up yet. So one thing that we'd like to do is, as we go through this development, is throughout our trail that we're gonna have little stopping points of like, oh, let's go play outdoor shuffleboard. I think it's along the trail here. Or we might have like outdoor, like horseshoes or outdoor this or outdoor, and we're trying to incorporate that kind of right next to the trail. So whoever's using the trail system, they can just stop and kind of utilize some of our amenities and start experiencing what we have to offer here. So this is getting into our pool area. We highly encourage people to utilize the pool area, also to have outdoor sitting area. There's also outdoor fireplaces, grills. It's been pretty utilized. It has been utilized very well so far. I always liked, like if you look at the detail here, even like those little holder column things on the roof there in the corner, just little stuff like that, a lot of people don't do. It's the architectural aspect of it. Very beautiful buildings. So when you look, we even have like a screened in porch area. Not all of them are screened in, but it's one of those, if you love sitting outside and you don't want bugs, or you just want to leave your door open, you know you have a screened in area, which is nice. So you can see that top one doesn't have it, but they put a little shade thing with that screen. It just kind of adds that little bit of shade as well. So there's actually 5 houses. This was kind of a risk on our part. We're like, all right, so we did some research and we found in Indianapolis, they did what's called a carriage home. Like they designed these apartment complexes and then just put a house almost right in the middle of it. And so we went to that developer and like, hey, how's this work? They go, they're awesome, people love it. Because you get this house, but then you get a clubhouse, you get a swimming pool, you don't have to take care of your lawn, and you have all these amenities of an apartment complex, but you get your own space. Because you don't have any of the other things that, I mean, you do have neighbors, but, well, you don't have neighbors' noise. Like, that's kind of what I meant. Like, you don't have, like, neighbors, like, right next to you.
That's its own unique, I mean, there's nothing, it's just the house.
It's just a house right in the middle of the development, which is, it's awesome.
Or all of 5 of them. That's a very unique thing. I've never seen that.
Yeah, when we first visited that other development, and they were telling us about it, at first you're like, why would you do something like this?
Right.
But then when you interact with the tenants that have lived in one, and then you talk to the developers that have done it, they're like, no, they weren't great. The tenants are super happy.
Yeah.
They become more long-term tenants as well. And that's always the goal as a developer or property management is how do we keep our tenants as long as possible? Because we want you to feel like this is your home. Yeah, we're going like to one of the furthest spots, and then we'll probably head back over to one of the furthest spots. So you're gonna see. So something unique. Well, I'll wait till we get up here and then I'll tell you.
That are just like getting finished.
Yeah, these first four buildings, there's people living in. The last 2 we just opened up. And if you look down this street compared to the other, these are all front-facing apartments. So the front door is towards the street. What that does, it creates a feel when you drive down this road that they're like big mansions more than, oh, this is an apartment complex, where it's a nice entry to a neighborhood. It's the same thing, the purpose of that carriage house as well. If you see how we placed them, they're placed the way we place them so that it blocks the parking lot. So that way, when you're driving through the development, you don't see all these cars. The cars are hidden. I don't know if you've noticed yet, if you're on property, I'm gonna get out of the sun here. If you're on property, you're probably gonna be on camera. Do you notice all the cameras? So if you're on property, you're in our hallways, you're gonna be on camera. So every building has cameras all around them. And that was a really big thing. When you have your daughter or someone that's very special to you, you want to make sure they're in a safe place. And so Legacy 34 is a very safe place to live because of our security. And everything, to get in any door, you have to have a code as well. I know this is a small thing, but our light poles. If you look at our light poles, they're not your standard light poles. They're an upgrade, and that's just a standard that we have here at Legacy 34, to have something that looks unique and timeless. When I was first talking about our colors, our siding, we want everything to be timeless. You might be wondering what's going on over here. So we just finished this phase, and then we're actually gonna add another 88 units. So we're adding 4 more apartments. These are gonna be a completely new design to the development. These are based for a certain type of income, whereas these other ones are gonna be kind of a lower income. So probably be based more like your 40 to 45,000 median income to qualify to live in those apartments. We expect them to be open hopefully by spring of next year. So we're moving pretty fast. All right, so you can see they're all very nicely lit. You're gonna be on camera when you walked in. That's one thing I talked about. A great trim package when you're coming in. We don't do carpet, and the reason why we don't do carpet, because it's kind of gross to live on someone else's carpet if you really think about it. So we always do vinyl planking everywhere. Oh, here's an apartment. Okay. All right, so this is one of our typical apartments. Let's get some lights on here. There we go. Okay. So this is one of our apartments set up with an island. Most modern apartments have islands now. This is kind of your dinner table, your social area, all nice quartz countertops. So if you go into any of our units, you do have a quartz countertop. Nice appliances, all upgraded, stainless steel. We also added like ice and water in all of them, which has been a nice selling point for everybody as well. But it's not your, I got this little fridge, you gotta, it's nice. Goes into your living room. This one's set up as a 2-bedroom. So this is a typical bedroom. If you notice, they have fans in them. That was a request. We initially didn't have a lot of fans in our units, and then we've put them in all of our bedrooms, living rooms, and it's been a big difference. Most of our closets are a nice big walk-in closet as well. So one thing about us as builders, we're also the maintenance. So we build them ourselves, or we oversee the building, but then we hand them off to our maintenance team. And so if you go to an apartment complex and you got wild shelving in your closet, it's gonna eventually fall down. Like these are into the stud, they're big brackets, so we know our maintenance isn't gonna have to come back and fix the closets, which is nice. Bathroom, nice cabinetry, all modern handles. So this one actually has a shower. Where some of them have a tub, some of them have a shower. I think this is a 2-bedroom, so I bet there's a shower and then also a tub on the other one. Okay, yes. So this is a 2-bedroom. So then if you walk in, here again, you have a nice closet, you got your living room, and then in here, you got your bathroom with the tub. So then you know you have a tub in one of the units. And this is a perfect roommate one. If you think about it, one roommate has their bedroom, bathroom, closet, and the other one has their bedroom, bathroom, closet, and then they can share their living space in the kitchen. So it's like you're completely separated from each other. Or it's a great one for a spouse and one kid, and you don't want the kid right next to you because they're older. Well, we have some units where, hey, they're a new family, they just had a baby, they would like a unit right next to their unit, as in their bedroom should be right next to the kid's bedroom. So we have some just like that as well, where they're not separated. That makes sense. I think little things, if you looked at our apartments, we don't have the cheap aluminum. We don't have the cheap aluminum blinds. Oh, they're all nice blinds. We got the wood trim on the bottom of it. A lot of times, most developers would just drywall this. And so, but this with the wood and the nice 6-inch trim, that makes a big difference in just quality and longevity. Whereas those are things where a lot of people cut corners on and don't do, or we don't. Well, these all, that's good enough. All right, let's go to the second floor. Let's go check this one out. Okay, so you're coming into this unit, and a lot of times we like to create an entry into some units. Like if you think of your house, you always have like a foyer, something where if someone came to your door, you can't see your whole unit. And that's what this unit does, is you got your welcome closet, your coat closet, but then you actually have a hallway into your unit. And then once you come in the hallway, then it opens up, so it's more private. into a nice big living room and kitchen. And this one's set up again with a great roommate apartment unit where you have a bedroom over here and then a bedroom over there. So there's 2 separate areas with bedrooms. I think in the last one I forgot to show you, but all of our units always have a utility space. So you can always put your washer and dryers in there. Here again, the bathroom, and of course the nice big walk-in closet.
The views are just really nice too, I imagine.
Yes. You're exactly right. You just mentioned the most coolest thing about our 10-plex. So this unit, if you think of a home, a house, you would have a back windows, side windows, and front windows. And then your other side would be garages, right? You're in an apartment unit and you have back windows, side windows, and front windows. This is just like a house. Yeah.
So looking at that, like it's just...
Yeah, I mean, when we do our construction, tenants love watching construction too. Like they're just sit on the patio like, oh, we watched that whole building go up. Yeah, you can see out here our next phase. So you can see there would be a 22-plex right there, and then another 22-plex over there, and then one more there, and then there would be a 4th one over there. And then there'd be a road right through here. The dirt work they're doing over there is for a future phase. So we're doing the dirt work because we're trying to dig a lake. So we're using as much dirt as possible to dig that lake right now. So then this is another bedroom. And of course you got a huge bathroom with walk-in closet, and because you got your bathroom, shower, walk-in closet. It's like a home. Yeah.
It just feels in this space, the living room, how big it feels. Like it's just, it's crazy.
So if you think about it, most apartments are 8-foot ceilings. We have all 9-foot ceilings. And then on the 3rd floor, sometimes we'll vault them, and we'll do a vaulted ceiling once in a while. So really my vision for this long term is creating a circle of life. And so you're like, what do you mean by a circle of life? I want to recruit professionals here and live in our apartments. And then eventually they're like, hey, I need something more than that to meet my family needs. And then eventually they're going to live into one of our townhomes. And then they're like, oh, okay, now I just had another kid. Now I want to buy a house on the lake. And when they're like 30 to 50, they want to live on the lake. Then eventually, one of the biggest things I'd love to happen is for them to stay in Grand Island and retire. And when they stay here, when they get in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they're like, I want something smaller. And so what we're building next on the lake is a wellness product. It's kind of like a 55-plus product, but it's not something that you have to income qualify for. It's like a triplex where it's all about the views, it's all about convenience, someone's mowing your lawn again. And so that's really your circle of life. You come here as a professional, live in one of our apartments, upgrade to a townhome, live on a lake, eventually retire in one of our lifestyle home products, and you stay here and invest in Grand Island. That's my dream. There wasn't a place like that. Like I think young professionals, they want more now. They just don't want the picket fence and a yard. They want amenities and excitement in a little mini downtown so they can walk their kids on a trail or go swimming, or they want to socialize with their neighbors. And what we've gotten to as a society is we build houses where everything, the garage is in front, and you look down a street and all you see is concrete. Instead, what we need to get back to is how we built houses in the 1920s. We have to have front porches. We have to have trees in our front lawn. We have to move the garage back. And so our focus point of the house is not a garage. And we have to create this neighborhood when people walk down the street with a nice sidewalk, they're interacting with their neighbors. And when you start interacting with your neighbors, you have a sense of connection to your neighborhood. And then you have a sense of connection to your community. And you want to serve your community. You want to protect your community. You want to protect your neighbors. You want to protect your coworkers. All that stuff is what makes it beautiful to be part of a community.
Totally, 100% agree. I mean, and like I think the fitness thing is a huge thing. Like just having walkable, like everything here is so walkable. And I mean, as it continues to grow, having a place to walk your, go on a family walk and go to see things like the lake, or go walk over to go out to eat or grab some coffee. Like that is huge. And there's not a lot of walkable places in Grand Island like that where you can just go do anything you want, really.
Yeah, like think how much time you waste in the car.
Right, yeah.
Like, why do we live in Grand Island? Yeah. We live in Grand Island because we can drive to anywhere in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But also in the same aspect is we live in Grand Island because we want to invite our friends and family here and go down to Balz and have a hamburger and have a drink and walk home. How cool would that be to do that?
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Or in the morning, wake up and, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And, or your kid's got a great report card and you want to do something special and you live right down the street on the lake. You're like, hey, let's walk down to Big Red Treats, have some ice cream, celebrate your achievements, and walk back and talk and socialize and connect with your kids. So that's what it's all about.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful vision. I think it's be cool that like just houses too on top of the apartment complex. It's like just like you said, every stage of life, any desire someone might have as far as a living space, like could be fulfilled somewhere on this plot. Like
Yeah, and I didn't bring up the last part, but after you're retired here and you're like, I need assistant living, you got Tabitha right across the street. You got, hey, I want to move my parents closer to me. I'm in my 50s, 60s. I want my parents to live closer to me. You want to be by a hospital. You have a hospital right here. Like everything is of those necessities are here and above. I definitely agree because we want this to be the introduction to our town. We're known as a blue collar town and that's awesome. We don't want to lose that because that's our roots, but we're more than that. And when you drive in and you see this development, you see the development across the street, Prairie Commons, like that is a great introduction to our community. One small thing that you don't really think about is a milk kiosk.
Yeah.
Like if you think of a milk kiosk, a lot of times people will do like pedestals. This is a $50,000 building just for mailboxes.
You get sheltered in there when you're in the winter trying to get your mail there.
Yeah, and plus it's in the middle of our development, so you want something nice looking.
The more commercial like office places in here, right? In these.
Yep. So maybe I'll get on this side so you can video it. So this is where we want to bring in 2 restaurants, hopefully. This is where on the second floor we want to do office spaces. So if you're looking for an office space, please contact us. We got some great units still available for office. And plus you're gonna be right on a plaza, which I'm excited to explain how we designed our plaza, because this is something really unique to the Midwest, but also European inspired. So we'll kind of talk about that next. Yes, we're probably 50% occupied. So we could definitely, if you're a business owner and you want to bring your business out here, give me a call. So this is gonna be a really special space here. So this is road level. You can see you got curbs, you got sidewalks. Then all of a sudden the road goes up to sidewalk level. Your sidewalk is gonna be even with this road. Right here and here you're gonna have 2 14-foot pillars. So if you see those pillars that are up there, there's actually gonna be 2 more right here. And then you're gonna drive up to sidewalk level and now you're in the plaza. What I mean like that, it's gonna feel like you shouldn't be driving up here. And that's what you want. You want to create a space that's special and safe. So now you got Big Red Treats here, you got Balz, you got a nice green space, you got Baristas, and you're in a plaza where hopefully eventually we're gonna have another restaurant over here. And then we'd love to do like a pickleball courts or other things right here. And we want to do something to kind of enclose it so we can have concerts, because we can shut this road down at any time. So this is a private road. So we can have farmers markets, we can have concerts, we have, you know, if we want to have an event, we can just shut it down. So when I went to the city, initially, I mean, obviously you can't take a road up to sidewalk level. We're like, well, what if we make it private? Well, yeah, you can make it private. So then we could do whatever we wanted with it. So this one right here, that's another space for a restaurant. So that's open, actually. The nice thing about it, it will have an outside courtyard. And then I'll show you the backside. It'll actually have an outdoor fireplace area and another courtyard. So which will be pretty cool. When you look at the first phase, you can really see landscaping. Landscape is very important long-term wise. So you don't plant a tree for this generation, you plant it for the next generation, right? And these trees that are planted here, actually I saw in Rome. I'm like, these are freaking cool trees, how they're canopy trees. So we actually rode this whole road, so eventually these will all be canopy trees.
Wow, that's neat.
So in the future, hopefully you're driving underneath this huge canopy of trees. So we'll have trees on this side too for that. I think she said there's 1 unit open, crazy enough. And we got a nice dog park. So it's hard to envision it right now, but this hopefully will be a courtyard. And if you come over here and look, see how that's indented on the side of that wall? There'll actually be an outdoor fireplace going all the way up there. And so then this will be an outdoor sitting place for a restaurant. And then this will be Grand Island Dental Center, right on the bottom there. This road will be actually leading to our lake. Our goal is at least a 20-acre lake, and our goal is to have 150 to 200 homes on that lake.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
That amount of bedrooms, bathrooms, or are they going to be kind of mixed? Or?
So our goal, we're inviting builders to it, and they'll be all custom homes. So we'll provide the lots, and then those builders would buy the lots from us, and then you pick a builder to build your custom home. This is it. My goal is to have lots ready by April 2025. Well, I think one thing is we've been planning this for so long, and as a developer, we've been in other communities building, and we really decided to come back home to Grand Island and really focus here and go all in on this. So originally when we designed this green space, I wanted a chicken and pickle. So my dream is to have indoor pickle court here, outdoor pickleball courts, and then a restaurant serving that whole area. So if anybody else has that vision, I want to make that happen for you. I think if it's not named chicken and pickle, it's just the concept of it, I think we could pull it off, especially in this type of neighborhood where it's safe, it's secluded, but also you're pulling Grand Island, but you're also pulling Hastings. Like if you think about it, we're only 15, 20 minutes from Hastings. If you're in a city and you had to drive 15, 20 minutes, that's nothing. So you could pull the whole town of Hastings to this development as well. So it's not far. I mean, if I drove to the other side of town, it would probably take me 10, 15 minutes. So it's 5 more minutes to go to Hastings. Really, my message to young professionals is you don't have to go to a big city to be successful. I think one of the best choices my wife and I made as a young professional is we came to Grand Island. And Grand Island has so much to offer. If you think about it, if you're gonna open up a business, you're actually gonna serve all of Grand Island. If you open up a business in Lincoln or Omaha, you're gonna serve a neighborhood. Whereas here, there's unlimited possibilities, and it's really a place for young professionals to build their roots, where you can go places and people are gonna know who you are. You're gonna have an impact on the community. So if you're a young professional that wants to make an impact and you want to have opportunities that are endless, a community like Grand Island is right up your alley. And now you have a place to live where you can start your adventure with us and end it as well.